David was seen as a god to all in his community but himself. This is the story of a fisherman who was very creative. His mind was vast and worked non-stop, like a humanized machine. Despite being all these, he was the least successful in his community. Even in his profession as a fisherman, he always had the least catch amongst other fishermen in his community. Why? What really happened to David that made him remain at the bottom always, while others progressed, leaving him behind? David was always full of jaw-dropping ideas. He was never short of problem-solving ideas. It was more like a gift he was blessed with. But David never attained success in his life. But everyone around him became successful and were above him. He was a deep thinker. He had his quiet time at evenings after the day's work he never missed. He would go to a hill that faced the big river in the community, and he would sit there quietly, with his eyes wide open, overseeing the river body. And in the calmness of that beauty, he would go deep into himself, going through any problem he had encountered for that day. And like magic, he would start seeing the solutions for any existing problem he discovered. And with a big smile on his face, he nodded his head in affirmation, and he would continue his meditation, still scanning for more problems that should be solved. After each meditation, he always had a solution to any problem he discovered. But do you know what David did after that? He would go back to the community and start telling anyone he met about it out of excitement, and him personally would not take any action towards implementing the ideas. Rather, he became a source of breakthrough for others, because he fed others with problem-solving ideas that eventually brought great success to anyone that took the bold step and implemented it. David became a consultant to others. They studied him and knew his meditation schedule. Hence, they would always stay close by, waiting for him to meditate and discover new problem-solving ideas. And once he was out, they would approach him, because they knew he would open his mouth and spill it all to them. And just as they expected, he would never disappoint them. He would always say it out boldly, without leaving any stone unturned, and he would be happy he did, not paying attention to the reality that the people were feeding off him. And these people's lives were transforming unimaginable for good, and David the mastermind was stuck at the same level and never made any progress. And the worst was that none of them ever referenced him. None even appreciated him for being the reason behind their success. There was a time when the river was not giving bountiful yield. Whenever David and his fellow fishermen went out to fish, they would stay all day and return at evening with little or nothing, unlike before. They could barely feed from it, and none was monetized, which was their source of livelihood. This continued for over 8 weeks, and things got tougher for the fishermen because they could barely survive anymore, and they were all frustrated. This problem troubled David so much that he didn't go out to fish for a full day, and he went to his meditation ground and stayed there all day and night, and alas, he got the answer to the problem. He happily ran to tell his fellow fishermen, and they all set into implementation. But do you know what the surprising thing was? David never swung into action like the rest. He rather watched others implement, and within a week, they got huge results. They had their biggest catch ever, and it continued that way. But David never implemented his. He rather fed from the catch of the others. David had countless transformational revelations, but never became successful. He rather watched others become free. He watched others become successful off his own ideas, and he continued that way until he lost his touch, because he could not focus anymore. He became a tale of mockery, and he was completely locked out by others in the community. He was seen as a failure. He was nicknamed the joyless joy giver. He was ridiculed always and despised. He barely lived from hand to mouth. He stopped fishing because he couldn't stand the public shame on him anymore. Hence, had to leave the community. and he went far away to escape the everyday emotional terror and torture he faced. Mind you, David never became successful because he completely lost the touch to that deep source he once had access to for solutions to problems, and he tried, but it was as if the lights had been put out on him. He lived every day in painful regrets and never knew what true happiness ever meant because he never experienced it. David met that ill fate because he never followed the 5 cardinal rules, which are the moral lessons of this story. Rule 1. Don't just be an imaginative, be an executor. David imagined great things, but never acted on them. Imagination alone is not enough. Execution is key. If you have a vision, take steps toward making it real. The world only moves when you move. Rule 2. Be wise and selfish with your problem-solving ideas until you make them a reality. David was too quick to share his insights, never keeping them long enough to benefit from them himself. Guard your ideas, nurture them, and bring them to life before revealing them to the world. Rule 3. Once your light goes out, you will be completely forgotten. David's relevance faded because he lost touch with his gift. To remain significant, keep your passion alive and never let distractions drain your energy. Your success depends on keeping your fire burning. Rule 4. Never be predictable. People anticipated David's meditation schedule and took advantage of him. When people can predict your actions, they can manipulate you. Maintain an element of mystery to safeguard your success. Rule 5. Always prioritize yourself. Whenever you become the source of others' success, David helped others achieve greatness while neglecting himself. It is noble to support others, but it is essential to first build your own foundation. Secure your own success before uplifting others. David's story serves as a profound lesson about the importance of action, self-prioritization, and strategic thinking. Being gifted with ideas and insights is not enough. One must be bold enough to act upon them. His life was a testament to the dangers of being overly generous with wisdom while neglecting personal growth. Many people unknowingly fall into the same trap, giving away their best ideas before securing their own success. This story urges you to reflect on your own journey. Are you an executor or just a dreamer? Are you prioritizing your own progress, or are you allowing others to benefit while you remain stagnant? And success is not just about what you know, but how well you apply it. Take charge of your destiny, guard your vision, and execute your ideas before others do. Don't be the joyless joy giver. Be the architect of your own success. Experience heaven on earth. Cheers.